question is that the motion be agreed to. I give the call to the member for Indi.
Deputy Speaker, thank you. I'm delighted to join my colleagues, the member for Mayo and the member for Denison and the member for Mallee, in this really, really important debate. And we've had lots of good reasons why we should support the ABC. But today I want to talk about the impact of the ABC on economic development, particularly economic development in the regions, and I'm going to focus particularly on the role of back roads and the impact that has had. So right across Australia, ABC does the work that we've been hearing about. But Deputy Speaker, I had the enormous pleasure on the weekend of attending the annual general meeting and conference of Australian Women in Agriculture, and it was in the beautiful city of Shepparton. And the guest speaker, or one of the many talented guest speakers, was Heather Hewitt. And Heather spoke about the background to backroads and gave some stories about how it's working. So, colleagues, I want to share with you today some of what Heather said, but some of my own knowledge about that particular program, why it's so important, and why, as a product of the ABC, it epitomises, I think, why this motion is so important. Colleagues, backroads, we've had 5 programs, and the city-centric, if you want, but the masters that be have committed to another series. So good decision, Sydney. Backroads bridges the city-country divide. It's a really popular program at a prime viewing spot. It's positive, it's humorous, it's real stories of real people in rural and regional Australia, and there's no spin. Real people, real places, real stories, and so much local pride. And the ratings. On the Ceduna program alone, 1.3 million viewers tuned in to hear it, which is really hugely significant. And many of the other programs regularly get 1 million viewers. So no other TV network, no commercial station would ever have backed a project like Backroads, because whoever would have thought that a quirky program about country towns would have had the impact it does. So what is it that I really appreciate about Backroads? I love its sense of connectedness, and the member for Mallee has just talked about how important it is that we have someone telling our story. It's a really genuine look at people's lives, and who doesn't like a really good story of someone else and their lives and how they live it. The presenter, and let me just do a huge call out to Heather. Heather really gets rural and regional communities. She knows how to relate, she knows how to engage, and there's such a genuine connection that you actually see these communities through her eyes. And she doesn't patronise, she doesn't look down, she's not at all sarcastic, and she doesn't do any gotcha moments. She lets the story tell itself. And Heather is herself as well. And one of the things that I love about Heather is she's a very good country woman. And what's the quality of a good country woman? They've got a sense of humour. They've got a really good sense of commitment to relationships. They've got dedication and persistence. And they've got a wonderful eye for detail. And they're not show-offs and they're not smarty pantsers, but my word, you get the sense of humour and the connectiveness with it. So in acknowledging country roads, I want to do a call out. Thank you, Heather, to Bridget, to Ron and to John, to editor Tony, to the producers and the researchers, Lou, Lisa, Kerry and Jerry, Damien, Kathy and Firth. You do a fantastic job. And I just want to quickly talk about my little town of Yackandandah. Backroads came and did a story about Yak, as it's affectionately known. The next day, the town's Facebook page just went berserk. I'm not sure if it did crash, but the gossip was it was going to crash. So huge interest. And I can just walk down the high street in Yak, go to the paper on the weekend, and I meet somebody, chat in my role of Member of Parliament, and they tell me, oh, I saw it on Backroads, and what a beautiful community, and yes, it's just like it was. Now, it's not enough just to say about that. My constituents asked me to get up here today and talk about this. So to Jenny, really tired of the attacks on the ABC, I bring your voice to Parliament. To Pam, who's very concerned about cuts. To Jacqueline, she's horrified to learn about these cuts. So right across my electorate, people are really personally affected by the thought that cuts will mean programs, quality programs, and wonderful presenters like Heather Hewitt won't be able to do their magnificent work, which is take our stories to the city and to each other, but in the process give us economic development, get us tourism, get us people to the country, and most important,